wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. My name is Vina Sustiani Putri and today I will present my report project titled Morphological Analysis of the Sassacnese Language to fulfill the midterm assignment in the subject Morphology. This study explores how words in Sassacnese are formed, how morpheme function, and what the structure reveal about the Sasak culture. Sasak spoken mainly on Lombok Island. It's part of Austronesia language family. It is not just mean of a communications, but also a reflection of a social value and the hierarchy. The refined form known as a bahasa alus play a significant role in polite speech and the formal interactions. Understanding its morphology helps us see how language and culture work hand in hand to set a respectful communications. In this slide, we will talk about the language choices. I chose Sasakanese Bahasa Alus as the focus of this project because it beautifully represents the relationship between linguistic form and the social functions. Sasakanese use morphological marks not only for grammatical purpose but also to indicate respect, politeness, and the social hierarchy. The use of certain prefix and suffix can alter the tone of speech and determine its appropriateness for given situations. Studying this refined language variety provide a valuable insight into how linguistic structure preserve social harmony and reflect the identity of the Sasak people. To analyze the morphology of Sasaknese, I collected a list of common Bahasa Alus words that show how meaning changes through the affixation or reduplications. Example included ngaturang, which means to over respectfully, ngedahar, meaning to eat respectfully, and nunasang, meaning to request politely, and other words such as kesucian, meaning holiness, and derrame, meaning growth, illustrate the process of the derivations and the reduplications. Each of these words contain one morpheme like a prefix n, ke, pe, and the suffix ne, an that modify the meaning of the root. This data set highlights the productive use of morphology in creating new meanings while maintaining social respect. Next is morpheme analysis. In Sassacnese, morpheme can be either free or bound. Free morpheme like atur or suci carry the core meaning, while bound morphemes such as an or each to tense root to form new word. For instance, ngaturang is a composed of an atur and create a polite verb that means to over. Similarly, kesucian is built from ke, suci, and an, producing an abstract noun meaning holiness. Through this pattern, we can see that morphology in Sassacnese serves not only to form new grammatical categories, but also to express social nuances such as respect and humility. And then the next slide is inflection and derivation. Sassacnese morphology can be divided into two main processes, inflection and derivations. Inflectional morphology, such as inane, or his or her mother, or baturne, meaning his or her friend, so possessions of grammatical relationship without changing the word class. On the other hand, derivational morphology creates entering new word or changes the part of speech. For example, ngaturang derives from atur to form a respectfully verb, while kesucian derives from suci to form an abstract noun. While make Sassacnese unique is that derivations often carries an additional layer of meaning related to politeness and cultural etiquette, something not typically found in languages like English. Next slide is morphological process. Sassacnese exhibits several morphological processes including affixation, reduplications, compounding, borrowing, and the conversion. The first is affixation. It's the most common as seen in the word like kesucian. And then the second is reduplications, occur in the word like rarami, which is express collectivity or plurality. And then the third is compounding joined word, for example, ngaturang Banten, meaning to overing. And then the fourth is borrowing, introduces new word from another language such as Bali, Pelinggih, and Arabic doa. And lastly, conversions allow a single word to function as a different word classes such as atur, word classes nouns meaning order, and ngatur, word class verb meaning to arrange. This process demonstrates the linguistic creativity of Sasakni speakers and how morphology reflects both structure and culture. Next is comparative reflections. When we compare Sasaknis to English, several interesting contrasts appears. Sasaknis tend to rely on prefix and their duplications, making it a agglutinative language, while English mainly use suffix, showing functional characteristics. Moreover, in Sasaknis, morphology conveys social meaning. Different word form can signal level of politeness or respect. Whether area in English, morphology is social nature. For instance, suci become kesucian, just like pure become purity in English. But the Sasaknis form also imply reference and moral value. This comparison shows that linguistic structure can serve both grammatical and cultural function. Challenges in analysis. During the research, encountered several challenges. First, the prefix n change from depending on the following contents. A process called a phonological assimilations. For example, n plus dahar becomes ngedahar. Second, some affixes can function both derivationally and inflectionally depending on the context, which make categorization difficult. And the third, Sasani languages have several dialects. For example, Manomene, Ngenongene, Getong Gete, Mariak Meriku, and extra. Each influencing word formation differently. And then the last is there are a few written sources available. So native speakers and oral tradition become the main references for this study. This challenge highlights the importance of the fieldwork and documentation in linguistic research. The last is conclusions. To conclude, the morphology of Sasakmis Bahasa Alus show how linguistic structure and social hierarchy are deeply intertwined. Affixation, reduplications, and compounding not only change word meaning but also express cultural values such as politeness, humility, and social status. Compared to English, Sasakmis is morphologically richer and socially embedded, proving that language is more than a system of words. It is a reflection of identity, respect, and the community. Studying Sasaknis morphology not only enhance our understanding of Austronesian linguistics, but also help preserve Indonesian linguistic diversity and cultural heritage.